With the center intersection in place, you now use it as a template to create the T and L junctions on the city block perimeter. Keep working on your project, or use the scene named City Blocks Roads Perim Inter.max. You will start with the T junction at the top center. Use Shift Move to create a copy. Zoom in and use the Snap tool, S on the keyboard, in endpoint mode to position the copy in place. Make sure the bottom corners fit properly. You need to edit the top part. Exit Snap mode when done. In the Modify panel, go into Poly mode. Select the 5 poly faces that make the top section and delete them. You now have a T intersection. You still need to adjust it to fit the reference. At this time, the horizontal stretch is made of 4 lanes, 2 in each direction for a total width of 14 meters. What you need is to have 3 lanes moving in one direction, left to right. 3 lanes equal 10.5 meters, so you need to subtract 3.5 meters from the current road width, 1 lane. Select the top vertices on that object. Using relative transforms, move the selected vertices down in Y using a value of minus 3.5 meters. You still need to adjust the textures. We'll get to that in a minute. First, you need to adjust the stop line areas. 2 of them are now rectangular instead of square-shaped. To minimize distortion, you'll make them square-shaped to match the bitmaps. Select the 2 vertices on the far right and move them to the left by a relative displacement of minus 3.5 meters. Likewise, select the vertices on the far left side and move them to the right by 3.5 meters. With this done, all that's left is to assign a different bitmap to these 2 sections. You need a stop line for 3 lanes traveling in the same direction rather than a 2-way double lane. Go to the Slate Material Editor. The multi-sub-object material applied to the object is already displayed in the roads view. At this time, there are 3 sub-materials applied, the way you set them up previously. You need to add a new sub-material for the 3-lane stop lines. Double-click the top material node to edit its properties. Click the Set Number button and set the number to 4. This creates a new standard material node, but you need to select it and delete it. You need to replace it with an Arc and Design material to remain consistent with what you have started. Set the new material to a matte finish, the way you did before, and also set it to display shaded in the viewport. All that's left is to specify the bitmap you want to wire to its diffuse color map channel, in this case, the file named Road One-Way Triple Stop JPEG. Note that this bitmap was created with a side solid line. When you later tile this city block, you will have double line dividers between the 3-lane roads. Because the new submaterial is assigned to ID number 4, select the 2 squares with the wrong texture and assign them to ID number 4. Well, this works for one area, but not the other. Traffic flow is coming from the left, so it makes sense to have a stop line as displayed here. However, on the right side, you need a different kind of bitmap, one that still has 3 lanes, but with intermittent dividers and no stop line. So, use the same method as before to add a new submaterial. This time based on the bitmap file named Road One-Way Triple JPEG. Select the appropriate polygon in the viewport and set it to ID number 5. That's better. but it needs a 180-degree rotation so that the straight line is on the other side of the road. You can do that at the bitmap level, or you can unwrap the geometry. Temporarily dismiss the slate material editor and exit subobject mode. Apply an unwrap UVW modifier to the T-junction. To minimize confusion, you can disable map seams. You don't need them in this tutorial. In polygon mode, select the polygon you want to adjust. Open the UV editor. Use freeform mode. Make sure angle snap is enabled and rotate the cluster 180 degrees. Close the UV editor dialog when done and exit subobject mode. Right-click and convert the object to an editable poly. The UVs are baked to the geometry. With this in place, you can now use it to create an L junction. Use the snap tool to accurately position the corner. Delete any unwanted polygons and use relative vertex displacements to correctly shape the geometry to the corner reference. All that's left to do is to assign the bottom polygon to the correct ID, number 4, to get the correct stop line. Once that's in place, you can then select both the L and T junctions and rotate and copy them around the center of the world. For this, you make sure both are selected and that you are in rotate mode. Also ensure that angle snap is enabled. Now set the coordinate system to world and set the option to rotate about the transform center. The combination of both of these tools would help you rotate about the 0, point. Remember to hold Shift while rotating 90 or minus 90 degrees. When you get to the Clone Options dialog, specify 3 copies and click OK. Ultimately, all road parts will be attached together, which is why we're not bothering using instances in this case. Save your file. In the next movie, you'll learn how to create the road stretches connecting the intersections.